And we're live. Welcome everybody to another Google Hangout. Super excited to be here with Peter Voogd. Peter has a new book out. He's a multiple best-selling author. He is known for a no BS approach to helping young entrepreneurs, and he's trained over 6,000 young entrepreneurs. And so we're here to talk about how to go from being absolutely dead broke to making six figures in 6 months with the man, Peter. Peter, welcome aboard.
Thanks, man. Evan, good to be here, and much respect to you for the legacy you're building, man. I'm excited and ready to add value.
Cool. I mean, first off, I love the shirt. It's the first thing I noticed when it came in. So this is part of your clothing line as well?
Yeah, we created a clothing line just for millennials and people that really live what they preach and what they believe. So we just have a couple different designs that when they put it on, they feel motivated. So that's really it. It's all about motivation and making sure they're inspired to chase their dreams. So this is one of them, become legendary. I like that.
I like it too, man. I've been promised one. So yeah, so you'll see it in a future video, me rocking the shirt. I like it.
Love it.
Just like really quick on your background, your story, how you came to this, writing this book for people who haven't heard about you before, just a quick background on it.
Yeah. So my quick background, kind of the simplified version is I actually, when I was 15 and 16, I was selling eBay. So I did eBay. So I would buy and sell, and eventually had like a little team to where I would pay people. So I got into business pretty early on. My mom's in real estate, so she's kind of entrepreneur focused. And I enjoyed selling, and I enjoyed flexibility to be able to do things on my terms at a young age. But it's funny, after I was 17, it's so normal in society, Evan, to like get the normal job and take the normal route. So everyone's telling me, hey, you got to get a normal job. You're 17. You can't just do the eBay thing. You can't just do the entrepreneur thing. Right. And at the time I was like, maybe you're right. Now I'm like, forget you for saying that. Now I'm mad at them. But the reality is it was good for me. So I got just a normal job valeting cars in my town. And I remember I couldn't stand not only taking orders, but my paycheck being capped. So I knew at that point, I felt like I was unemployable, and I lasted about 2 months. And I remember I added up my paycheck. And the reason I say this is this was kind of a pivotal moment for me in entrepreneurship. I remember adding up how many hours I worked per week times the 2 months I was going to work there. Actually, it was 3 months. I ended up working only 2. And I times out how much it was going to be all summer. And it was a certain amount. And I was like, wow, no matter what I do, no matter how early I show up, how much I study, how mumuch value I add to the company, how much I take care of people, how many letters I get from customers, I get the exact same pay. And I'm like, that's just not fair. I don't understand. That's not fair to me. So I went back to entrepreneurship and sales and got into an international wholesale company where I was selling products. So that's my first real taste of commission and entrepreneurship. Got into that, and I enjoyed, Evan, helping and inspiring other people more than I did seeing myself succeed. So I first succeeded in sales because of persistence and hard work, but it takes more than that to actually lead a team and to actually inspire. It's one thing to be an achiever, to actually achieve success. It's a whole new ball game when you're actually looking to build a team and inspire and develop other people. So that was a whole new ballgame. So what happened was I did well. I got moved up, and I was going to run an entire territory up in the Seattle area. So I was excited. I'm like, oh, I did really well in sales personally. I could train a team. That's easy. It's not that hard to motivate people. I can motivate myself. And I fell flat on my face because, like I said, it's harder to motivate others than it is yourself sometimes. So I fell on my face. I wasted all my savings. I was working 70, 80, 90 hours a week. And our society says if you're not getting results, work harder. I realized that's not the case. It's the hours you put in, not just the hours you work. It's what you put into them. So I was able to finally get a mentor and was able to cut my learning curve in half. And I started really being around high-level people. And I was able to get my income from dead broke, struggling, frustrated, discouraged, feeling like I let people down, to 6 figures within 5 months. Because of my focus on mastery versus overload, because of mentors, and because of the blueprint that I created. I didn't realize at the time, Evan, that it was a blueprint I followed, because I've done it now in multiple different industries. But when I was in the trenches, a lot of stuff I studied was mindset, it was inspiration, but very few of the things that I actually put in my mind and studied gave me actual tactical advice on how to make money as an entrepreneur. So I was reading everything. I was like a personal growth junkie. I bought every program, but the reality is I was still frustrated and broke. because I was overloaded. And when you're overloaded and overwhelmed, subconsciously you seek distraction. So when I invested in myself, I stayed broke and frustrated. And that's why finally, when I got around the right people, the quote that changed the game for me was, if you want to be a millionaire, talk to billionaires, you'll get there quicker. And I was like, wow, I'm hanging around with a lot of people that are okay with mediocrity. That are like, hey, Peter, you're young, you're 21, 22. It doesn't matter if you're broke, you're supposed to be broke, right? And I realized that I needed to elevate my circle of influence. And from that moment, that's when it really changed for me. And I started focusing only on relevant information that actually was connected to my 6-month vision. So now I've created a whole program based on how to, it's not just about 6 figures in 6 months, Evan. It's about how to have the best 6 months you've ever had with 0 regrets, and how to maximize your progress. Whether you make 150 grand, 27 grand, or 2 million, that's kind of what it's about. So now I love sharing that with a lot of the people that I inspire.
I love it, man. I love it. I love the passion and the energy. It's great.
I get intense. I got to calm down sometimes.
No, I like it.
I love what I do.
For people who recognize that, for people who feel like, yeah, I'm surrounded by these guys who are just telling me, go get a job, do the safe thing. And you're like, I'm the only it feels like I'm the only guy here who actually wants to do something more. My circle of friends suck. Like, they're nice people, but like nobody around me wants to do anything bigger. For people who kind of recognize that, but they don't know how to, I want to hang around billionaires. How do I do that, right? So like you realize that, what are the steps that people can take to actually go out and start finding those people and changing their circle of influence?
Yeah, so first of all, it's a conscious decision that you have to understand. You have to give a little up to go up. And I can relate to you guys. I felt like I had no one to inspire me. I felt like everyone around me was, here's the deal. You're either hanging out with people that hold you accountable or let you off the hook. And everyone I was hanging out with let me off the hook. So let me give you the first step to the 6 musts of 6 figures. And then we'll dive into really the tactical side of building a network and elevating your circle of influence. You have to get crystal clear, and you have to shift from complexity to simplicity, first of all. Get rid of all the noise in your head and simplify everything to, like, I call it my 1-page productivity plan. And you have to do this before you reach out, because you won't know why you're reaching out. And if you do have the high level people, you still won't have a vision or plan. So I'll give a simple summary. So on 1 page, simplify your entire business, your values, your goals on the 1 page. So the first thing is kind of like an ideal statement, Evan, to where if I was connecting with you in 6 months, what would have had to happen for you to be fully satisfied and excited about your results in those 6 months? What's your ideal outcome? It's scary to me that 9 out of 10 people that want more out of life, that want to be entrepreneurs, that want to get to 6 and 7 figures, I go, okay, what's the ideal outcome? If you take rid of all your limitations, you get rid of all your fears and doubts, forget the past and forget everything except what's ideal and base it off potential. What's your ideal outcome? 9 out of 10, what do you think the answer is?
Something smaller than what they should be doing.
Or it's, I don't know.
They're
like, I'm not sure. You can't hit a target you can't see. Here's the deal. A genius without a roadmap is going to get lost in any country, but an average person with a roadmap will find their way to every single destination. So here's the reality. You have to have your ideal outcome. And then underneath that, here's the big kicker, especially for the new age entrepreneurship and for millennials. And you do a lot of amazing stuff on legendary people, Steph Curry and these kind of people, Keith Razi, who I've spoken at an event with, and a lot of people that are changing the game. And you'll find this relevant in all of them. Tell me if I'm wrong, Evan. They base almost everything in their life off their values and who they are and what's important to them. Would you agree with that?
True.
Most young entrepreneurs don't. They base it off whatever's next or whatever's shiny objects, whatever makes money. You have to sit back and gather your values and say, okay, what's most important to me in life? What's my unique ability? What's my gift? Write your top 3 or 4 down. It could be legacy. It could be financial freedom. It could be impact. It could be adventure. It could be security. I don't know. But the reality is, once you get your values down and you write down what means the most to you, then underneath that on the 1 page, you write down the top 5 goals for the next 6 months. A lot of people say, like, what's your 5-year goal, 10-year goal? It sounds good. Like, it sounds good to say that, but it's not as relevant. And here's what happens if you set 3-year goals. Trends change, customers change, you change, your mindset change, your standards change, entrepreneurship changes, innovation happens. How many times have you ever set a goal where you set a goal for like 3 to 5 years and in a year or two, you're like, shit, that's actually, it's a little, it's different now. Like this isn't even what I want. I want this now, right? I've done that many times. So that's why I've done a lot of research. The 6-month vision, along with having a 3 to 5 year is crucial. So put down your 5 goals for the next 6 months. Underneath that, you want to write down your top 5 reasons that really drive you. So reasons come first, results come second. So when I was dead broke, before I had the courage to reach out to people, Evan, I had to have such strong reasons to pull me past the challenges and the limitations and the rejection. A lot of people don't have strong reasons that wake them up in the morning. So here's what I challenge people to do. Write down your top 20 reasons that drive you. Why do you want to be an entrepreneur? Why do you want freedom? Why do you want success? Why do you want to be a millionaire? Why do you want to travel the world and speak and share your message? Here's the deal. Out of those 20 or 25, 10 or 15 are BS. They're just material things. They don't wake you up in the morning. Because if you're not waking up at 5 or 5:30 fired up, you don't have strong enough reasons. Period. And you're going to let circumstances drive you versus your values. So write down your top 5 reasons that really, really drive you. Maybe it's your kids, right? I don't know. But maybe it's more free time. Maybe you can't stand your boss. But the top 5 that emotionally compel you to take action. Underneath that, it's the one skill you need to develop that's most relevant to all those 5 goals and that match your values. And then what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that everything you study, everything you listen to, everything you put in your mind is relevant to that. A lot of people just listen to a bunch of random personal development and they're not fully focused on mastery. And a lot of people say read 50, 100, 300 books a year. I'd rather master 3 than read 100. Right? Because it's all about getting addicted to execution and outcomes, not getting addicted to information. So once you have that down, Evan, that's your 1-page productivity plan. You let that guide you. Now you have your vision guiding you, not your current circumstances or your feelings or emotions. And now when you have that down, you laminate it. You put it everywhere on your wall, in your room, in your car, in your planner, by your computer. And then now when you reach out to people, you know why you're reaching out. So what I would challenge people to do is a couple things. One, once you figure out your values and what industry you want to dominate or what you want to be the best in, what you've gotten the best results in, then you write down the top 5 or 10 in your industry. Who's doing the best? Like who is someone that A, you can relate to, B, has similar values to you, but C, is someone that you're inspired by, you want to be like, and they're a world-class human being. Write down 5 to 10 and then start reaching out. It's funny, in my book, by the way, I put my script, which I was kind of hesitant at first, but I put the exact script that I used to reach out to these people. It took me a couple of years of refining, but it's such a tactical script that works. People are using it and getting a hold of Richard Branson or Vaynerchuk or anyone that's big. There's been people that reach out and actually get a hold of them from this script. But then you have to make a list. Once you have your top 5, make a list of your maintenance friends and your growth friends. So maintenance friends are the people that kind of, you've known them for a long time. Maybe they're from high school or you feel like they kind of drag you down, but you feel bad, like kind of not hanging out with them. And make a list of those people and then make a list of your growth friends. What 5 friends that you maybe don't know yet or you know that are challenging you at a higher level. And then you start lowering your time with your maintenance friends and raise the time you spend with your growth friends. If you can do that, you're going to start feeling your standards raise, your intelligence raise, your action raise. And that's one of the biggest keys. So tactically, you got to make a list of the top 5. And then it's just persistence. It's reaching out in a value add sense and already doing things that show you're serious when you reach out versus, hey, I want to do all these big things. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be the best. Can I get some of your time? It's like, come on, they're not going to respond. Hey, Evan, I've already subscribed to your channel. I've shared it with the people I influence. I really respect and value what you do. I've already left you a review on YouTube. I've done this and this and this. I'd love to see how I can share what you do with the world because I really respect that. Would you respond to that? Or, hey, Evan, I know I got big things planned. I'm going to be the next Tony Robbins. Can I have like a half hour of your time, please? Which one are you going to respond to?
No, absolutely. And you know, the people who leave the comments and are the most engaged, I already know who they are. Like they've already made it onto my radar, even though they haven't asked me for anything. And if they were to ask, I would say yes, because they've 100%. Already left the mark. And
you're an authentic guy. So if you've never heard of someone, like, I've been following your stuff for 10 years, you're like, I've never heard of you, right? So that's the key to especially reaching out is showing through action that you're different than the majority because you've taken action. It's surprising how many people reach out that literally just ask for things with zero value. Just as simple as, hey, I've left you a review on Amazon and on Audible. Oh, cool. Awesome. I've bought 10 copies of your book. And I'm not telling, hey, buy everything from me and then reach out. I'm just saying, show through action how serious you are as well. And if you can do that, Evan, and start understanding the value of shifting your circle of influence, that's the first step, because they will tell you what to do next. A lot of people are like, I don't know what to do next, because you don't have people at a higher level telling you what action to take. For me, people always ask, yeah, but 6 figures is a lot. I only was talking to people that were making 500 grand plus. How could I not make 6 figures if I was making 0, but I was talking to people at 500K? How can you not? Because you're taking advice from them. They're telling you what to do, what not to do, kind of what to be aware of, where not to waste time. Of course I got the 6 figures, but it took a lot of persistence, a lot of hard work. And another tip that we can talk about is everyone has what's inside them called a confidence account. And here's the scary thing. At every moment, you're either helping or you're hurting your confidence. There's no in between. Every decision you make is either helping the account or hurting it. And every accomplishment and everything you've done up to this point is because of that account. So I didn't realize that a lot of things I was doing, whether it was sleeping in or validating or making excuses, they were hurting my confidence. And if you don't have confidence, you're always going to find a way to lose in entrepreneurship. So you always got to understand how important confidence is and protect it at the highest level. And how do you build confidence? Well, confidence is just certainty, right? What's the number one reason people won't leave corporate to go to entrepreneurship? They're scared because they have what at their other job? They have certainty. It's like, well, the paycheck's coming. In this new economy, the only certainty you have is the confidence in yourself and your ability to make it happen. So you have to create certainty for your life and business by doing your due diligence, by studying, by reaching out to high-level people, and by making sure that you have an identity that whatever you say, your actions follow, because when you get results, that's the ultimate confidence booster. You know what I mean? I mean, for you, Evan, have you noticed when people are making the easier decisions consistently, it kind of hurts their confidence, and then they make the tougher ones, they get the results? Have you seen the confidence waver up and down based on the decisions every day they make?
Absolutely. And I feel like it's a daily battle that people have to fight. Yep. And so to attach that, so like somebody watching this, right? Like, man, I love Peter. This guy's awesome. I'm going to pick up his book. And like they're on fire. You know, it's like 3 p.m. here on the East Coast. They're all pumped up, confidence account, like 100%. And then they wake up the next day and like, poof, it's all gone. They have to start over. What do you tell that entrepreneur? What are, like, maybe in your case, like, what are the habits or rituals or routines that you do so that you start your day with confidence? You start your day not being at 0 in that confidence account, but you're starting from a high level.
Yep. So inspiration's really, what I realized, Evan, is inspiration's really short term and doesn't really last past the activity producing it. Habits are what drive people's action. I go to seminars, and I mean, I've spent a lot of money on personal development because you want to invest back in yourself. And if you go to seminars, people spend like 2, 3, 5, 10 grand. And literally 5% of them, if you catch them 2 weeks later, are the exact same person, because they get inspired, but they don't put it into execution. And what happens is they go back to who they were. So what I would tell people is make sure you have a daily routine that sets you up for success. So one, my Prizefighter routine, a morning routine that sets you up for success. First of all, there's a lot of stuff on morning routines. That's fine to have like a bunch of morning routine stuff, but I'm all about outcomes. So the whole purpose of a morning routine is 2 things: to get you in a better state of mind, to get you confident and courageous to take on the day, and 2, to have intention and to know exactly what you're doing that day. So if you just have rituals, and here's what's cool, every frustration or every kind of failure is because there's no rituals or systems in place, right? So you got to have systems for each area of your life. So for mindset, you got to have a ritual every week. For productivity, you got to have a ritual every week. So let me give you an example. So if you want a mindset ritual, you have to have non-negotiables in your schedule that you do no matter what. No matter how you feel, you start making decisions based off standards and values, not emotions or feelings. I'll tell you, making decisions off feelings are killing people's progress and bank accounts and respect, because if you only do what you feel like, you're not going to do very much. How many times have you not felt like doing a video, Evan, or doing something, but you're like, well, I have to because I said I would. Has that happened before to you? Where you don't feel like doing it?
It's happened.
And what do you do if you don't feel like it? Maybe you don't do it. I don't know. But most people, if they don't feel like it and they still know they have to get it done, they just kind of get over that feeling and they take action anyways, right? So have you experienced that?
Yeah. I mean, I find having a schedule helps me so that every day of the week I'm doing something different, and also leave time for like exploration of new ideas. But like Thursday is my public facing day. So like hangouts, interviews, shows, right? So Thursday we're doing this live. I find that really helps in my
routine. You have rituals that kind of cater to your values and what's most important to you and your business. I like that. So for mindset, so here was mine when I was newer to entrepreneurship and to personal development. Monday through Thursday, I only listened to personal growth audios, success audios, podcasts that were relevant to my 6-month vision. No news, no radio, just personal growth. I would then, every morning, I would make sure I had my day written down before I started my day. So I used to tell myself, never start your day without it written on paper first, right? The next thing is every morning I'd ask myself, what am I most excited about? What am I grateful for? And what am I committed to making happen no matter what? And then every week, twice a week, I talked to someone that was playing the game at a higher level than me. So just simple stuff where every week that happened. So I couldn't help but put the good stuff in my mind and to make the sharper decisions, because one of my rituals was making sure that I listened to stuff that sparked my mind. I connected with people that were playing the game at a higher level. And you can't really separate your body from your mind. When you're stronger physically, you're stronger mentally. So I would also work out 5 days a week. So for my mindset rituals, I would work out 5 days a week. I would listen to personal growth audios that were relevant to my vision 4 days a week. And then I would also look at my goals every morning and make the decision to have my day planned. And then I would talk to people. At that point, it was my mentors that were playing the game at a higher level than me. So that's how they do it. Where if they are fired up now, I challenge them, don't be like most people that are fired up but do nothing. Take the excitement and put it into action, and then make sure that you have something tomorrow morning that you understand is going to help you stay consistent. So have a morning routine. And the biggest thing with confidence, Evan, is most people make decisions off feelings, and then they make the action and decision based off if they feel like it or not. If they don't feel like working out, they don't do it. But the champions, the successful people that really live a life that they see as world-class, they make decisions first. If they don't feel like working out, they don't care. They do it anyways. And how do you feel after you do that? You feel amazing, right? People think that they can get motivated by just sitting around. No, motivation comes from action. So you need to act your way into feeling. If a lot of times in the morning, I don't feel like working out. I'm literally driving to the gym and I'm like, I don't feel like doing this. But as I walk in and start doing it, I'm like, oh, I feel like doing it now. So you have to act your way into feeling, right? So that's what I would tell people if they want to stay consistent is have someone that holds you to higher standards and make sure that you're doing something daily that sparks your mind to continue keeping you going. And then once you get results and momentum, you never stop. Momentum's obviously the big key in business. And it's also the scariest thing is lack of momentum, right? So you got to build the positive momentum on your side like I did finally after I was broke. So it was tough, but
I like how you named it too, the prize fighting routine, the Prizefighter Routine.
Yeah, you're getting ready for the day.
Yeah, even the brand in itself, right? It makes you feel like you're a prize fighter. I like that. Like what's, for the people watching, do you have your own Prizefighter routine, or, what can you call it? So instead of it just being morning routine, which might be a little bland and blah, but something to like right there, like it speaks to Peter's mindset right away. Like if I'm creating a routine, it's to be the prize fighter. So I love that.
Thank you.
Lots of great comments. People really appreciate all the advice and wisdom, and the chat's blowing up. People are asking about the book. Asking, is it like a novel? Is it it sounds like there's exercises and worksheets for people to go through. Can you maybe just add a little clarity on that?
Yeah. So what makes it different? And I'm not. It's funny. I don't like saying, hey, this is the best book. You got to get it. It's mine. But where I've seen most of the success and why Entrepreneur Magazine promoted it, why a lot of the people are buying it for their teams. We've sold over 150,000 copies. Was after it's very tactical and no BS. Everything in here is very proven. And after every chapter, Evan, I actually give like action steps, and I have fill in the blank so they can actually fill it in, and they can literally take it. They can fill it in. They can teach it to their team. But there's actually like workspace in there as well. And when the book was finished, it was finished, and then I went through for a whole week and a half after this was finished, and I went back in myself and I took out every single thing that I felt was fluff or BS or too much inspiration and not tactical. I took it out. So it's really a lot of meat and potatoes on how to go from broke or frustrated and how to get to six figures in a very genuine, authentic way, not by doing things you don't want to do, not by doing things you can't stand, not by chasing shiny objects, but by understanding your unique gifts and genius. And I just walk them through the 6 musts in a very deep dive and tactical way. So yeah, I mean, I've got some great feedback, and I love hearing the stories from people that not only have made 6 figures from it, but have got out of being frustrated, or maybe they had a tough relationship, or they hated what they did, or they didn't make money and they were broke and they got out of it. I love those stories. So yeah, anything else you want to know, I can answer, but that's kind of the gist of it. It's just how to go from where you are to where you want to be, regardless of the economy.
Cool. People are asking about Amazon links and where to buy. Guys, I've left the link to Peter's website in the description, so you can check that out and click on through. And that'll link up to the book and everything else that he's up to too. And there's an audiobook version as well.
Yeah, on Audible, just go to, and that's what people, it's funny on the Audible, I kind of go crazy, as you probably can guess hearing my tone right now.
I like it.
It's off the cuff. So the Audible has this, but also it has me sharing different story scenarios and going off the cuff and adding a little more value. So if you like the listening in your car while you're working out, I'll challenge you a little bit. So it's at Audible. Yeah, audible.com. And then just type in Peter Voogd, Voogd. Actually, I have 2 books, Evan. This one is a lot more tactical. The other one's just kind of a blueprint of my 30 biggest lessons in entrepreneurship. But this one's more of like a framework where if you literally follow it, you can't help but actually get results and see success, and do it in like a quick way where you're not wasting time and you're cutting your learning curve in half because you're not making all the mistakes that I made, sadly, right?
I love it.
We're happy for you, but yeah.
They're also asking about finding growth friends and the process of doing that. Do you lay that out in the book too?
Yeah, I give deep dive tips on how to do it, where to find people. And also it's getting around masterminds or academies that have higher level people. One of the reasons we created the Game Changers Academy is to connect high level people and network people that are ambitious, they're driven, and they want to be around like-minded people. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the book. They can check out, like you linked, gamechangersmovement.com, give some resources as well. So you just have to make the definite decision and then become aware and understand the importance of it. And then you'll find a way if you want it bad enough. I mean, you could look online, there's masterminds, go to seminars, join an academy or join a membership that you fully believe in, that is proven, that you know has high level people in there. And once you do it, they can connect you with other people as well. And then it's just an upward spiral from there. That's what I did. Because I knew nobody, I knew no millionaires. And once I actually got around some people that were making a couple $100,000, then I reached out to people that were finally making 750, then $1 million. So you have to work your way up. You can't just go from like making no money and no one knows who you are to reaching out to Tony Robbins tomorrow. I wish that could happen, but it's not going to happen. So you got to kind of work your way up and get the results and stay consistent and persistent and follow the script I give. And it's going to happen if you obviously get past the no's and get past obviously the rejections, because that's part of success. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of tactical stuff.
I love it. Peter Voogd, everyone. It's crazy how quickly half an hour goes. The man is spitting fire. Go check him out. Check out the book. Peter, really appreciate the time, man. Thanks for spending it with us. Thank you guys so much for watching as well. Go check out his website. Check out the book. I'm waiting for my hoodie. It's coming.
Let me say one more thing too, Evan. I want to share with people is I know there's a lot of people that are going to see this. And if I'm going to share a message, it's most people spend the first half of their life saying, oh, I'm just way too young. And then they spend the second half saying I'm too old. And the number one reason people don't succeed that I've seen with 12 years of research is they never tell themselves now matters. They're always like, well, someday I'll go all in. Someday I'll join an academy. Someday I'll be successful. Not right now because blank. And there's never the perfect time. So I challenge you guys, because I actually genuinely care about your well-being and want to help you become a game changer. Now matters. Like right after this, it matters. So take action, make the one-page planner, and keep me posted on your success as well. And I look forward to continuing to add value if I can, Evan. And thanks again for all you do.
Love it, man. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching. Get the book. Continue to believe.
Appreciate
we'll
it,
see you
guys.
soon.